What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and in this week, I am joined with Charles Velasco, co-team leader from Velasco team?
Yep,
Velasco team
yep.
with Remax. What's up, man?
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on, man. I've been wanting this one for a minute now because you're busy with doing everything, realty. Is that a word?
Yeah, real estate.
Real estate, right? But also with podcasting, you're a podcast host yourself.
Yeah.
So you know the grind with doing all this and normally working, right? So it's like a whole nother world. And what I like about you and everything you do in your page, man, is that you incorporate a lot of videos. And it's like really social media influence and social media heavy.
Yeah,
you know what
definitely.
I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like what caught my eye initially. Like how I got to your page was seeing your videos and seeing all the content that you put out. Whether it be the Life of Sacramento podcast, and then I know now you have From Dark to Light.
Yeah, Dark to Light
podcast.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah,
and then also selling homes.
It's
been crazy.
That's the major thing, right? That's your major thing that you do. And so when I was watching all those videos and seeing everything, I just remember being like, you know what, that's a person who I would love to have a conversation with.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different topics and stuff that I want to hit. I have a bunch of notes here that I definitely want to go over with you.
Okay, cool.
But beforehand, first, in your own words, I wanted to see if you can give your own little intro to exactly.
Oh, just let them know.
Let them know who you are, what you do, and how you got into all this one.
But okay, my name's Charles Velasco. My main thing is that I'm a co-team leader with Remax, the Velasco team. I help people sell and buy homes. So we're doing pretty good so far. Last year, we helped about 200 families and people. And then last year, I helped about 70 myself.
Yeah.
And then more like, real estate's a grind. Like everyone knows, no homes on the market, 10, 15 offers on everything. More the reason I put myself through that is because I want to help people like 5 to 10 years down the line. But of course, tell people you need money.
Right.
So yeah, that's the biggest reason why I help people sell and buy homes. Also, I want to help people, the everyday people, build generational wealth.
Yeah.
As well.
And that's another, actually, okay. Yeah. So that was a big factor into whenever I bought my house. So my home that I have right now, I've owned it for about 3 years now, right? So 3 years now, and it was actually feel like I got in right at a good time because it was right before the pandemic actually hit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, you go out at a great time.
Right, and then also the area that I was at, I didn't understand when I first got into buying houses and everything. I didn't realize and understand the amount of information and every little detail as far as like zip codes, area codes, everything that comes into play when you come to buy a house. You know, so that was like, in and of itself a whirlwind. But I knew how it took me. I went 2 times around. So the first year around going to buy a house, I was going through it and I was renting one house and it fell through. It didn't go through, so I had to get another, rent another house. And that second time around, I remember it was just like a little bit smoother because I was more familiar with like the terminology and like just the areas in general. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have this one too, because I wanted to like essentially educate everybody and help them out and give more information as far as walking through that process. Because I know a lot of people right now are like
they're like all over the place.
Right,
they get so many all types of information.
Yeah,
saying it's a bad time, it's a good time, interest rates are low. But I honestly think also it's really big. A lot of people are getting the wrong information.
Yes,
that they shouldn't get it because buy a home because. What's happening right now is that a lot of like major hedge funds, a lot of people with a lot of money, they're buying real estate all the time because it's like monopoly. Like you always want to you buy one, like say for example, the house you bought 3 years ago.
Right.
What would happen in 20, 30 years of the price of that house?
Oof. Houses only appreciate, right?
So like think of this as your nest egg for retirement, right? And this is the easiest way for the everyday person to build generational wealth. And by the time you sell it or you pass it on,
right,
all your kids could have down payments for their houses.
Yeah.
And you could have a great retirement.
Yeah.
Like I know someone that bought a house for like $90,000 and they're going to be selling it and they have about $400K now for their retirement and they're giving their kids money and now they're set.
Yeah.
Because they bought a house a long time ago. And they thought it was expensive then too.
Yeah. I felt like generationally it's always that, our parents and our grandparents and everybody that came before us, there was always like they felt like this was expensive or this was expensive, you know. And then when you tell them the numbers that they're at right now,
they're just like, don't do it.
They're like, oh my God, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And I remember, you know, being a kid myself. I remember looking at, you know, it's like, I always have these funny memories. You ever just pass by a house and you have the for sale sign and everything, you know what I mean? And then you're just like, how much is going? Wonder what this is going for. And, you know, I was a kid, so I'm like, I'm so like oblivious to money and finance. I was thinking, you know,
it's like, oh my God, this is like the biggest
this is the biggest thing, right? And then when you hear that number again as a kid, you're just like, whoa.
And you get scared.
Yeah. You know? And then you start to like think like I can never, you know. And then you get older and you're at, you know, the spot where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, those are really good prices.
Yeah, and you see your friend buying and you're like, oh, I could buy then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more of like when it comes to buying a house, like the biggest number one thing that is my biggest piece of advice is make sure that you go over the monthly payment. You get pre-approved for a home loan. Yeah. You don't have to commit to buying a house. Just get pre-approved and then reach out to a realtor that will honestly have your back. Like for me, I don't go in the field to show houses, or me and my team don't, unless they know their monthly payments on the houses they're shopping for. Because it's like, that's the biggest thing. Like if it seems like they're overstretching their budget, like I don't really like
recommend
to push it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big factor in, and I definitely, that was my like mindset going into it, was just like, you know, what's going to be my budget for everything. Because, you know, because at first, you know, you think like there's this money, but then you don't, you know, account for every little thing that goes into it, you know, whether you're going to do it all in, taxes included or not, you know what I mean? And then, you know, if you're doing, not to say that I know about everything, but if you're doing like VHA, conventional, VA loan, you know, there's so many different things that I kind of got within the first 2 years of doing it that I can only imagine that the amount of information that you know.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, also all realtors aren't built the same. Like it's like the same concept as like someone that does like 3 transactions a year. Yeah, they're not consistently in it enough to like know like how to deal with a fire, how to deal with negotiating. It's like, it's really intense, especially since the pandemic. Everyone wants to buy a house now because no one wants to sell either. So.
No, yeah, it's tough right now. Yeah. They know that a lot of people that don't know, there's when I was getting ready to buy my house, there was a term that came around a lot, whether it be a buyer's or a seller's market. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of give a little bit light in that? Oh yeah. So buyer's market is when a buyer has a lot of choices of homes, like tons of listings on the market. Okay. A seller's market is when, like, for example, like around here, there might be only like 3 to 5 houses for sale within half mile. That's like nothing, right? Right. And I'm pretty sure you've been on Zillow recently too. Just to see. Nothing. Yeah. I'll get some, like at my house. I'll sometimes just get little, you know, like, hey, if you want to sell, if you want to sell, you know, this is how much it's going for, and I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah. Okay. Right now, it's definitely a seller's market, but it doesn't mean that buying a house isn't affordable, because the interest rates are still low. So I mean, you don't have to commit to buying a house. Just talk with a lender or reach out to a realtor and say, hey, I want to know what I could buy right now. And if it's not the right time, it isn't the right time. But for anyone, I would recommend seeing where you're at, like, and what you're comfortable with. Okay, too. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. So a few things that I want to get into first was in this time frame, you know, obviously like in real estate and investing and, you know, commercial property, or just not even commercial property, I'd say property in general, are like really big right now, right? So how can a person who's interested, you know, in becoming a realtor or getting into this business, how can they get into it? And before you answer that one, if you don't mind giving your little story and your background as far as why you exactly wanted to get into it. Oh yeah. So how could they get into it? So the number one thing is just get your license. That's your number one focus. You don't want to focus on anything else, like, because it's one of those things. It's like you can't sell real estate unless you have a license, right? From the state of California. So you need to make sure you do that first. Don't focus on anything else. Don't focus on the millions of things you have to do. And then number 2, like a little more about my story is I actually graduated from the University of San Francisco. I studied business, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Yeah, and I actually used a lot of it in the family business. So 2017. After I graduated college, my parents were like, give us 5 years, help out the family business. So my mom was a pretty great realtor. She was doing about 30 to 50 homes a year. Oh, wow. And then, last year we grew to 200. And I'm proud to say that my family business is a multi-million-dollar business now. Oh, man, that's amazing. It's like, honestly, when like it
doesn't feel real when I say that shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember graduating college, spending all my money on partying, not even, just chilling, you know, like just being a regular
person,
year old,
going through it. Yeah.
But then, I'm really proud, and I think that's my biggest accomplishment ever.
That's super cool, man. That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear, because it's like there's not a lot of people, you know, who are fortunate enough to say that, especially about a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's as a family business like that, man. Congrats to you guys on that.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. Like, me and my mom fight like crazy. It's like we both have big egos, but I love my mom and I love my dad. I also love my girlfriend, who's probably going to be my future wife one day.
There we go.
We're throwing it out there, but I mean, it's like I have all these people that come into my life or were in my life that help me get to where I am.
Yeah.
Like my assistant, my business partners, everyone's great.
That's amazing. Yeah, that circle that you have around you and the people that you have around you specifically, like it's, you know, it's astronomical how much they can either influence you or deteriorate you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot of deteriorating. Like, it's crazy how like, it really is who you surround yourself with makes a big difference.
Okay. Yeah. The reason why I asked that too is because I know a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people who are interested or who have questions about it. And I can see where they're coming from, because sometimes they'll ask me about it, you know, because I'm a homeowner, and I'll be like, hey, I'm not a realtor. Like, I don't, you know, I'm just, because I own a home doesn't mean I know the ins and outs of it. But it can be overwhelming at times, you know, at times to get into it, you know, and when it comes to getting licensing and everything. And I know the realtor that I was working with, well, one of two that I was working with at first, they were different in that one of them had a team, one of them was independent, one of them worked through I like not a property management, but like a Remax, you know what I mean? And one of them was working under someone else, you know what I mean? So it's like there's levels to everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like I would compare it to like lawyers, basically. There's good lawyers. There's lawyers that only do like 3 cases a year.
Okay.
There's lawyers that do like 20, 50, 70.
Right.
When it comes to like someone's best interest, you want to work with someone that does a lot.
Yeah.
Because they know the ins and outs of, especially the fires.
Gotcha.
The fires are like, I mean, I have one deal that's about to fall out of contract. It's so it's like I have multiple deals that fall in and out of contract.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's my only deal. So like I pressure my other clients to make sure they close, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to me it makes sense. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean with that. I know I had one that fell through that when I told you the first time around, because it didn't. It didn't. What was it? It didn't.
Was it appraised?
It wasn't appraised. It didn't appraise, surprisingly.
Oh wow!
And I was like, wow, this is the reason why it's falling through. It didn't appraise, and I was interested. I was like, why isn't it?
Yeah, there's like multiple ways to deal with that.
Exactly, and to give a little bit info, you know, some context for the people. And the reason why it didn't appraise is because they said that the value of the home wasn't what they thought it should be.
Right? Yeah.
So it just didn't go through, and it was pretty crazy too, dude. I thought it was a good area. It was at that time it was in the 923 area, and it was a nice 3-bedroom,
Which
2
one?
home.
95823.
95823.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, what did I say? 923. Yeah, my bad. 95823.
Yeah.
And because I was gonna be a first time home buyer, you know, so it was a good, nice, just recently renovated house. You know what I mean? I was doing it as a first time home buyer, so first house, and a starter home. And so I remember going through it, and they had a list price, right, or asking price, and it was on the market for about a month and a half with no offers.
Yeah,
a little bit alarming, you know what I mean? And then I wanted to put an offer in, and I remember they were asking for $5,000 towards
closing.
What was it? Closing? I think it was to pay for the closing.
Yeah.
So we worked out a deal where essentially it was just like, hey, we'll cover this if you cover this, that type of thing. You know, going, you know about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And my realtor at the time was just like, yeah, they're not really budging on this. They're not really budging on that. And I was like, hey, why don't we make this offer then? Why don't we give them what they want, specifically what they're asking for and everything?
Yeah.
And I'll just cover the closing costs completely. Yeah. And he was like, huh, okay, we can try that. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. So we submitted the offer, they accepted it, and then it went to appraisal, and it just fell through.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Those type of things happen.
It happens all the time.
Oh, man.
So it's like, I mean, 1 week, I would say the most I lost in a week is about $50K in commission. So it was a good amount, but I mean,
my heart.
You just want to work with someone that's okay with that, or work with someone that's okay with losing a paycheck because they'll always have your best interest.
Okay.
I have another deal that's gonna fall out soon too, and that's a good amount too. But I always say like, hey, like it doesn't make sense for you.
Do you dread it though? Are you like
No, I just work so hard. I have a lot going on, so it's like okay. And me and Hillary, my girlfriend, we try to live below our
below the means.
Yeah, for example, like if we make more money, we're gonna stay the same.
Yeah,
like with how we spend, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's so underrated. Like a lot of people don't do because they try to live above their means.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's so underrated to just know to be under.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's another thing I want to talk about. Speaking about starter homes, okay. What is, in your opinion, what is the biggest? Okay, what is gonna? Okay, maybe. Okay, so what is the biggest difference? And I guess convincing people or telling people, okay, there's a difference between buying your starter home versus like your dream home.
Oh, this is actually a great question.
Okay,
so when it comes to buying your starter or your dream home, the starter home actually helps you get to your dream home. So, like for example, like for me, I bought my first house. I think it was 2018, right? By Elk Grove, the Lennard new homes right by the casino.
Okay. Yeah.
And I sold it and used that money to move to my dream area. So what happened was, my dream area, I live between Curtis Park and Land Park right now.
Okay.
My dream area, like, I just can't believe, like, sometimes I'll, like, be in my house or just go outside and be like, holy shit, I'm hella close to everything.
That's actually one thing we're going to talk about later. I wanted to revisit.
So I'm, like, 5 minutes from, we're 5 minutes from Iron Horse. Like, we could just do what the fuck ever. Like, I could go to LA if I wanted to, like, in 20 minutes, like, go hop on a plane. But, I mean, the biggest thing is, like, the biggest mistake home buyers make is that they don't buy the starter home. Because the starter home is what helps you get to your dream home. Because, say, for example, you buy that starter home, 3-bed, 2-bath, in a really nice area that's, like, getting better and better. And then, say, for example, you buy it for $400K, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes up to $600K in, like, say, 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Now you have $200,000 in equity.
Yeah.
And say, for example, you only owe, like, $350, for example. You could take that $250 and get to your dream home. Right. And as your income gets better, as your, you know what I'm saying?
You're leveling up and everything.
You're leveling up. Right. So I've had that happen multiple times for a lot of my clients. I've helped so many clients with selling and buying a home. But of course, like what I did up front was, okay, we go over the area you're looking for.
Yeah.
We see how much you're pre-approved for. We see how much money you have in the house and how much money you're comfortable putting down from the sale. And I've been able to, last year, I think I did about 10 buy and sells.
Damn.
So a lot of these people, it is really tight too, because it's like, there's not a lot of inventory, right? So I have to maneuver so many things. Right. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing about a starter and dream home, the starter helps you get to your dream home. So always buy that first house.
Okay.
And when it comes to buying the first house, like the biggest thing about it is just think of that. Hey, you're not looking at the price tag of it right now. You're looking at what it could do for you 5 to 10 years down the line,
potentially,
or 20 to 30 years down the line. Because this house you bought, right? How much did you buy it for? If you don't mind me asking.
$313.
313. Yeah. And then what is Zillow saying right now?
The one that I got, so I looked it up too. Yeah. So right now the starting or asking price for it was like, last I checked was like $425,000.
Okay, yeah. And then of course you have to look at comparables. Like Zillow's not always right. So let's just say 3-bed, 2-bath. I know this zip code. Yeah. You could probably get like 450 or a little more than that right now. Yeah. So I mean, you're already up almost 150 grand.
Yeah.
So, like, say, for example, if you ever wanted to move up, but say you just kept on to this forever, right? You buy your next house, and you could buy your next house as little as 5% if you turn this into a rental. So a lot of people don't know that. So I like sharing that information with people. Okay. So say, for example, like, you keep this house for 20, 30 years. What's the chances of it being $1 million to $2 million in 20, 30 years?
Well, maybe.
I would say like 800 to $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
how much did you put down?
How much would I if I use that? If I use the equity?
No, how much did you put down on this?
On this one? I used my VA loan.
Oh, dude, that's like the best loan ever.
Yeah, I had the VA. I used a VA loan, and
dude,
the only thing beautiful. I never actually had to put money down.
You just did closing costs. Right?
I just paid closing costs, and then the earnest money deposit, and
it's part of that.
Which was part of
Yeah, let's just say less than $10,000 you put down, right? Yeah, you spend $10,000. So potentially in 20, 30 years, you could have 800K to $1 million. Is that worth it?
Oh my God.
This is how people get rich, man. This is how the elite keep staying elite, because they buy real estate. Right. They don't listen to all the noise. They buy when it's affordable.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could say the reason why I asked that question specifically, not just because, selfishly I was curious on it, but also I remember I had a lot of people ask me too, why didn't you save up more? I could have technically, waited a little more. I could have saved a little more. I could have, gotten, because I make more than what I did at that time too. And I know a lot of people who right now who want to buy that big house right away and everything.
Dude, that's the biggest mistake.
Yeah, because
it's like you get the minimum what you need.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to get too fancy on what your first house. Like you just want something that you could either turn to a rental or sell to get the next one.
Okay.
And what you're okay with living in. Because it's like, I mean, rent is so expensive. Like in SAC, it's like $2,500 to $3,000 right now for a 3-bed, 2-bath. So, I mean, just getting in the game is the game.
I know a lot, not a lot, but I know a few people right now who are paying, dude, for an apartment like $1,800, and that's like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. You know what I mean? It's like,
but it's really easy to stay in that though, because it's like, it's like a lot lower than like if I was to move to another rental or buy a house.
Yeah.
But it's like what you really get, like the house is like what will help most, like literally every American get to like their goal for retirement.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, dude, imagine like, for example, like 20, 30 years down the line, you have this house still and you want to sell it and give down payments to your kids.
Yeah.
Then you could keep the generational wealth going.
Going, right.
So like, you don't really like, of course you're probably going to do more for retirement, but you're good.
No, yeah. It's so, like I said, it's just, it's so underappreciated. Like we talk about the starter home versus the dream home, and I mean, everybody's, financials different. It's different. Obviously there's some people who are more fortunate enough to just go ahead and get that dream home when they can. And I know a lot of people that they're rushing, and I kind of had this myself too, because I made myself a goal when I was 18. I said I want to buy a house by the time I'm 25.
That's a good goal. That's probably the best goal you could have.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, like I talked about this, like with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like my biggest advice for people from 20 to 25, focus on getting your college degree, because college is still great.
Yes.
And of course, like everyone's circumstances are different. Some people might not be able to get it. And then focus on reinvesting all that money back into yourself or your ability to make money till 25 to 30. Like from 25 to 30 is when you're really building your business or building who you are as a person. And then also by 25 to 30, buy your first house. Yeah. That first house is like, if, say, for example, like someone's very like irresponsible with their money their whole life. Right. After 30, they still have that house. Yeah. So, I mean, down the line, they could like sell it and they'll have all that money.
Exactly. Yeah. No, like I said, it was thinking, because I had a conversation recently with one of my friends. He was like saying, we're talking about, that goal like that I had for buying a house at 25. And we were talking about whether that was it a rushed decision? Was it, did I feel pressure to reach that deadline and kind of maybe jump the gun a few times? I go, I don't know, because I did reach the goal. That's number one. The fact that I set the goal was already, a big step in and of itself. Yeah. But I guess because we were talking about, had I waited till 30, maybe I could have got an even bigger and better house. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. But like we said, that opportunity to get the bigger dream house is always going to be there later.
It's always going to be there. On top of that, it's like, look at where you are now, right? Yeah. Like buying that dream house, like what price range is that dream house right now? So I could kind of give like what I think the payments would be.
Okay, so if all went well, I mean, it depends. I would say, I don't even know the price. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about you give me the price range? Okay, so my dream house would be a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 4-bed, 2-bath, about, let's say 18 to 900 18 minimal square feet.
1,800?
1,800.
Well, that's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
2,000.
Minimal. And I don't know, man. I really like the new development areas on Grant Line. Those houses? I like those. I like those.
Oh, you're kind of like by the casino, right?
Right.
Dude, yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah, I like those. I really do, because one of my friends lives out there. Shout out Juno. Juno lives over there. And but I also like, I do like the new houses that you see in like Natomas area. They're like the brand new ones that are being built out. But I don't really like Natomas like that. No offense. I used to live in Natomas, that's why.
Oh yeah, I mean that area is great. So I would say.
What about Esac?
Esac is like
up there. Yeah. All right. Let me. We said dream. So
no. But honestly, okay. What do you like more, Esac or the Elk Grove area? Like, what do you think is better for you?
Esac, I would say.
Esac. Okay. Yeah. So say like that house right now is like 800,000, right? Okay. And this house, you bought it for 313. Yeah. You could probably sell it for 450. Like, say for example, hits the 500 mark. You could sell this, use that money, and then buy something and only finance about like 500 to 600K.
Yeah.
So I mean,
doable.
that is not even that bad of a payment either.
Okay.
And especially now, like it seems like, you know what I'm saying, you went further in your career.
Yeah.
You could combine incomes.
Yeah.
But also like that area you're talking about, like the 4-bed, 2-bath, you could probably get something there for like $650 right now.
Right now, really? Man.
So $650, like yeah. And you could like either sell this or you could rent it out and get that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the payments, I would say for 400, like, I mean, I could call my lender right now.
He's like, let me go on FaceTime right now.
No, but I mean, right now it's doable because you bought this house.
Okay.
Which is like,
those are for, hey, this is more than enough for me. You're already hyping me up right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is another one too. Okay. So this is the one where I've had talks off air, you know what I mean, like between like a few of my friends who also, you know, are on the real estate, but never publicly on here or haven't given a platform where people can even get this information. So I wanted to know what it was like to be selling during the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, fuck.
During and like the difference in between that and like now compared to the beginning, like how difficult was it?
Okay, so selling homes like right when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was the craziest stuff ever. Like honestly, like so what happened was we weren't allowed to show houses for a week. I think basically what happened was any occupied house where we're not allowed to show houses. Like I remember a week I was like, fuck, I'm actually like I can't make money anymore.
Wow, that's scary.
Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, real estate is essential. And then we were all complaining like, okay, everyone has their views on Gavin Newsom, right?
Right, yeah.
So it's like we're just like, how is selling homes not essential? Like,
Yeah.
how are people allowed to go to Costco and like go, do all these different things, but Walmart's allowed to be open, but
buy the things that they need the house
helping
for.
someone buy a house is unessential. It's like the number one human need. So I was just like, we were shocked by that. So I couldn't sell houses for a week, and then we all came with the California Association of Realtors came up with like ways for us to show houses. So what would happen is everyone would have to wear masks in the showings.
Yeah.
Everyone would have to sign a reliability form. We did it about for a year, I think. And then it was honestly competitive as hell because like a lot of people wanted to buy houses because everyone's needs went up, right? So everyone needs a home office because everyone's working from home.
Right.
So everyone needed the extra bedroom. So that justified the price appreciation.
And a lot of people were moving out of California.
Yeah.
So
or people from the Bay were coming here.
Coming in, right.
So like, I mean, I have a lot of Bay Area clients that come in with like 200 to 250K combined incomes. And they're used to paying like 3 to 4K a month for rent.
Yeah.
So
that's
they
easy.
come here. Like, that's why Sacramento went up. But it's honestly, last year, I don't even know. Like, I mean, 2020, I don't even know.
It's like a blur.
It was so hard.
Wow.
Because it was like every house had 15 to 20 offers.
Yeah.
So imagine like no one's selling their damn house, right?
Yeah.
And then you compete against 15 to 20 offers every day.
Oh my God, dude.
So it's like I was like fortunate to do well.
Yeah.
Last year in 2020, but I'm just like, dude, it was crazy. It was like, and then we would all wear masks. Everyone would be scared. Like it was
something,
dude. It was like it was the most stressful thing. Honestly, like it's just stress. Okay, like if I could compare anything to real estate, it's like dealing with like being in a lot of relationships and your girl's always mad at you.
Oh God, the tension's constantly
or
like
your man's always mad at you. It's literally like the stress I deal with is like my girl being mad at me times 10.
Oh
but
my
like,
God,
my girlfriend's understanding. She doesn't stress me out, but I'm saying like. Sorry, babe, I'm saying this, but like past women that aren't as nice.
Right, yeah, they're not as nice. You feel that in the back.
Dude, it's like, dude, like you just got a big ass headache. You're just like, dude, I can't do this.
I can only imagine because like I said, my first year go around when I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy a house. You know what I mean? Like I did everything. And I remember I got to I already got pre-approved. I had like an actual amount and everything. I put everything to the side. I sent in all my paperwork and then it's time to actually go put in the offers, Dude, I remember I was looking at...
Dude, imagine if you're going against like 10, 20 offers at a house.
That's what it was.
Dude, there's a lot of people that are never going to buy a house again because they're so traumatized from 2020 to 2021. That's why it's really important you work with a team that knows how to get the job done.
This was the first couple... I put in like 13 different offers, no joke.
Wait, really?
13
2019?
different houses, dude. It was hard. This was 2019, right? No, this was 2018. Hold on.
Oh, it wasn't even that bad in 2018, 2019.
See, dude, that's what I'm getting at. This is 2018, right? So I remember there was a few houses I'd go. I put my offer in. I'm thinking I have a solid offer, a solid amount, and a VA and everything. They're like, cool. You're the 15th offer, and you're at the bottom of it because right now they're taking.
You're looking at entry level. Like,
entry level, yeah.
See, like that's why entry level is nice when you sell or it appreciates because so many people want it.
15 different ones.
Like this area right now is very popping. Like very high in demand because a lot of people that live in this area, like they get good jobs, they stay with their family to save a lot of money, and then basically they wanted to buy. And now you're competing against everyone that want. Also, this area is closer to downtown, so I know a lot of people from that are getting out of Elk Grove to live closer to downtown too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you would think downtown is like people. I guess I thought they were like trying to not stay away because everybody wants to. You know, it's
be closer to everything.
It's really convenient to be downtown. But I thought people were like trying to be like, no, we cannot live there because how expensive it is.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how it is though,
dude. It's crazy. Like. Even like just downtown, like you have to know the streets hella well. Like not just the streets, but the bridge as well. Like under it, like that is like maybe some of the most fire real estate. Like under the bridge, like Curtis Park, Land Park. Yeah, a lot. Even myself, before I got on real estate, I didn't know about Curtis Park, Land Park.
Yeah,
and then there's also East Sac that's fire.
Yeah,
like I mean, and it's crazy because it's like it's such a nice neighborhood.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all that. I guess it's all perspective, right? Like, I guess when I see the houses, where I go, if I have family, you know what I mean? When I bring like my little brothers, my sisters, my mom, whoever, when I bring them to like, and I drive them around downtown Sac and everything, it's like they're always like, wow, look at these, you know, these houses and everything, and I'm like, yeah, they're expensive. Keep looking, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, nah, they're expensive, but you know, in that moment, we just think of them like, or just assume, not even assume because we know they are, but we're just like. We just kind of bypass them.
Yeah, like oh, we can't. Yeah, we can't. And like I like when I got into real estate, dude, I remember I moved out of my parents' house and I was all on commissions. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's all on you.
I rented a room in East Sac for like only $800 a month.
That time, that's
my roommate got a crazy deal for us.
Yeah.
And he's like really successful now. He actually owns like a medical staffing company. It's crazy. He's crushing it. But basically, I was
Shouts out to him.
I remember I used to drive around East Sac. I was like, maybe one day I'll be able to sell a client a house here.
Wow.
And I was just like, and then eventually I did sell a client a house there in East Sac. And then I also did my biggest deal of like $1 million. Actually, I think it was 1.4. I can't think anymore. I'm like, my brain's dead at the end of the day. Yeah. But I did a $1 million deal right by Southland Park.
Okay.
And honestly, like, it's weird. Like, we think like we can't do these things, but like, why can't we? Like, my mindset is like, okay, I'm just gonna put in hella work and hopefully someone likes me.
Right.
And I put myself out there. Like, honestly, like.
And it gets that trickle effect
that
right?
$1 million deal I got, honestly, the only reason I got it is because I posted on social media. Like a lot of agents referred me to that client that sold in Southland Park. They're like, oh, use Charles. And I was like, I randomly got hit up. He was like, hey, do you want to help $1 million client? I was like, oh shit.
Dude, yeah, like, that's what's key, and that's why I gave you your props. Like I said, using the social media thing and networking because I talked to a few people. You might know. It's never know.
You just never know,
dude. You might know too. I'll tell you off and everything. I was talking to a few people and I was like, they're like, what's your schedule looking like next week, or who's next on the episode or as a guest spot? And I was like, I got Charles next, and they're like, oh yeah, we know him.
Oh really?
Yeah. I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off here. And they go, oh yeah, for sure. I was like, I go, you know him? And he goes, yeah. We're supposed to do something together. We're supposed to work together, or we were looking into this, or his Instagram is dope because he does this and that. And I was like, yeah,
that's crazy.
I was like, yeah. So there's a few people, and like I said, the Instagram, it stands out because what I like about what you do is that it's not just all about real estate, right? Yeah. Obviously, that's your main focus and everything, but it's not like you're over here just every single day, like, hey, this is what exactly it is every single day. I like how you switch it up. You put your own personal stuff out there. You put, you promote your YouTube stuff, the podcast, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You're always giving gems for a lot of times too.
Yeah, a lot of gems. Honestly, like I want to do more of that. Like real estate's been so busy. Like to be honest, like I'll have like 10 to 15 appointments a day.
Damn.
And it's like I have to deal with fires, I have to deal with text messages. Like my text message threads was at 100.
I saw that you just put like 100. I was like,
100
bro.
by 12. But I got back to everyone really quickly, and honestly,
I was surprised you got back to me too.
I want to do more shit like this too, because honestly, I want to give out gems, and then Hillary actually wants the content so we can post it all over the place from this video.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
that's what's good about it
too. But yeah, man, it's been great. Like the social media. I mean, we should learn to use social media. Don't let it use us. Like
embrace it.
And embrace it. Say like, all right, this is a part of our life. We just gotta show who we are. And honestly, like everyone's like, oh, I get a lot of bad feedback about my social media.
Really?
Yeah. So they say all you do is post about houses and your girlfriend and your dog. And I'm like, that's all I do.
That's pretty much what. Yeah.
That's all I do. Like I'm more of a homebody now. Like. I just chill at home after work. I hang out with my girl.
Yeah.
I hang out with her family. I hang out with my family. I hang out with Jordan. That's all I care about. And a few friends and like helping people. Yeah. And
I'm a foodie at heart too.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I'm just obsessed with like my family and my career.
Of course. That's just a normal person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that too, because one of the biggest things and best advice I ever got. Not even say I got, because it wasn't even told to me. It was like regurgitated from a podcast. So one of the best advice that I heard from someone else tell another person was, you're essentially this phone, like right here. This is social. This is your promoter. This is your advertisement.
And it's crazy how much people don't use it.
This is you. You're gonna sell whatever it is that you're not even selling, just giving away and everything. This is everything you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
it's God's gift. Like you could either see it as like, I mean, a lot. It is bad too, because social media makes people do shit that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like spend money like on stuff that doesn't really matter. Spend a whole paycheck on like drip or whatever they want to do. But it's like, honestly, this is God's gift, because we could connect with anyone and we could like learn anything.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the way I see it. I'm like, okay, like there's no way I'd be able to do everything I can do without that phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally living proof of that. Like through social media is how we're here right now.
Yeah.
Like this was connected through, so essentially on social media, then texting, and then now we're here. You know what I mean? So that's the power of social media, is connecting everybody, but it's also putting the face behind everything. And that's why I think it's good, like to say, well, like to see what you do, because it's not just like, here's not to diss or not to like throw shade at anybody, but some other real estate agents, they'll just, all you see is the houses, not so much of them. But with you, you're putting your face to it. You know what I mean?
And I'm trying to do better about putting my face to it. But like, I'm like, Hillary, do you mind sharing how I am when I work? Am I like a robot or
pain?
How am I?
Like he's a pain. No, that's good.
I mean, sometimes I have to say, oh, you're not a robot, you're human. Can you be a human?
Oh, okay. So you got to throw in your little splash of personality in it.
Yeah. So like, it gets a little crazy. I'm like really obsessive. Like I work like a maniac.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to do more of like the personal side and like, show who I am.
Well,
and,
it's definitely working, bro, and it's major props to you on that for sure.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah. But let's switch gears for a second too. Because obviously we could keep going on real estate.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about other stuff.
We can still definitely. I got other stuff I want to hit for sure, but I want to talk about podcasting for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you find the time to do everything, the podcasting and everything, while still doing all that?
Honestly, the podcast, like Life in Sec, we had a lot of momentum. We were literally like the number one, like when you search Sacramento on podcasts, and then we fell off, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's more of like what happened was the guy that I was working with is great, but he has like other priorities too. So we're trying to figure out other avenues to go about it, or like work with him still around his schedule. But honestly, the podcast, like we did it like the way we would do it is like every week we used to do like 30-minute window in and out. I'd be in and out of like a kind of like a laptop, like
Zoom,
Zoom. So we would use what was that software again we used?
Riverside,
yeah. Riverside. It was solid. It was great, but like it's just hard because like we all work on different schedules. Yeah. My schedule is like just nonstop, like fires or going on appointments with new clients.
Go.
Yeah, so we're working on it. We think we're gonna go back to once a month for Dark to Life, Dark to Light, Life in Sec, and I'm really more passionate about the Dark to Light podcast because I want people that are very like successful to share like their bad times.
Great story,
and like talk about like how those bad times actually led to the better days in life. Because like honestly, like I feel like that's not shared enough, and the people that like are actually doing the best are the ones that had the lowest lows.
I definitely had some of those. So if you need a person, I've definitely had some of those. I checked out the first one, that episode too, by the way. Yeah, I love the combos, man. So it's
what'd you think of Akshay, my friend?
I mean, first of all, very successful. I mean, when he was talking about, you know, essentially getting out of college and you know, being hopeful to make, you know, 60,000 to, you know,
dude, he's
$1 million company and everything.
He's a monster. They're like a multi-million-dollar company too. It's nuts, and he's a great guy too, and. Honestly, he's like a crazy
definitely a great convo, dude. So check that one out if y'all can.
Yeah.
There was another one. There was one that we have kind of in common. I was gonna be on hers and she was gonna be on mine, but scheduling was tough, and I had like freaking people come in and out. But I listened to your episode too on the Born Unbreakable.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You know, it's great.
Did you like it?
Yeah, because it was it made me, because that's what made me want to reach out to initially, because it was like. I was like, oh, like what? Like he'll be on other people's, you know what I mean? Because I figured you were so busy with hosting and, you know, selling houses.
Dude, I'll go. I love going on podcasts.
Same.
And I want to do it more. So like me and Hillary could have some more content to share and like help promote other people's brands too.
I thought it was super cool in that. So it was more so like seeing them be like, oh, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is cool too, because a lot of people, they get intimidated, you know, to come on a podcast, or it's hard to, you know, to sit and essentially talk and, you know.
Oh yeah. Like, for me, like I used to be shy as hell.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Dude, I remember when I first got my license, I went to the Sacramento Association of Realtors. Yeah. Like a kind of like a meeting or like a training.
Yeah.
About how to do the purchase contract.
Ooh.
Dude, I walked in and I walked out within 5 minutes because I had an anxiety attack.
Really?
Because I was so nervous.
Oh my god! Yeah, I can only imagine.
I was like, dude, I can't do this. I don't know if I can sell houses.
I can only imagine. That's so tough. Yeah.
Yeah, but I got over it, dude. I just put in hella work. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I just met hella people.
Yeah, man.
Try to be more in front of people. Yeah.
So the podcasting thing is something that you're, safe to say, like, you know, really passionate about as well.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it. It's just like I'm trying to figure out like ways to like make it work around my life and also that going on. And now I have a girlfriend who's beautiful and who requires attention. So,
we know girls are.
Because like honestly, it's like it is an added thing that I have to get used to. So
what
I'm doing is I'm gonna do once a month and like really make it more intense. The podcast for just 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, dude, trust me when I say that, you know, this is a weekly one that...
Dude, that's props to you, man.
Dude, it's so much, you know what I mean? And at times it is overwhelming, and, you know, especially when you're corporate, you know, like I have a son, I'm a father, so...
and you work a full-time job.
And a full-time job, so it's definitely...
a lot going on.
It's definitely a lot, man, but... it's also rewarding at the same time. For me, it's a form of like therapy. So it's therapeutic.
Yeah, because you get to hang out with people.
Get to hang out. I get to like have these conversations. You know what I mean? But I think it's pretty cool to just, you know, to see someone, a completely stranger and everything, and to follow them for a while and to kind of get like insights. I mean, it's granted Instagram, so you don't really, you know them,
how they are deep down,
right?
Unless you talk to them.
But that's why I feel like it's cool to bridge that gap in between, you know, reality versus Instagram. Yeah, you know what I mean. So
how am I in person?
Great, bro. It's literally exactly what I thought you would do. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying through Instagram for the most part. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
Nah, man, just thank you. Let me tell. Okay, so. This was the other two things I wanted to hit and revisit. If it's okay with you, there was two things. Two things that
whatever you need, man.
that I wanted to reference, and it was funny that we were talking about your home. So you had made a post, and it was essentially a brand new house that was getting made and everything, right? And you put in 2020, I was most likely moving to Toronto. In 2021, I'm glad to say that I'm buying my dream home in Sacramento, and I'm here to stay forever.
Dude.
Tell me about like when you like having that moment, you know, and because I'm thinking of it, there has been a moment when you were like taking it all in, and you're like, let me sum this up or put this into words, right? To buy the dream home and then potentially moving to Toronto. How did that moment feel like?
Oh yeah, so I mean, I had to share. My girlfriend's there right now, but I still had to share the story.
Yeah.
So I was dating someone in Toronto at the time, and then we were pretty serious, and then the pandemic hit, and then. Things were, I mean, life happens for you, like not to you. So, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise because like my family wouldn't be where they are right now. I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have met my life partner, Hillary. So, I mean, all good like vibes to that girl that I dated.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was more of like, you know what, like I'm gonna stay in SAC. Yeah. I want to help be a part of SAC. Like I want it to be more common for Sacramento family businesses to go 7, 8, 9 figures, you know, like, and a lot of the times it's like a lot of people in Sacramento don't think they could do it.
Yeah.
It's not, that they can't do it. It's just like they're not doing the right things. So
Yeah.
it's like, and I want to be a part of that culture. And then my goal in 5 or 10 years down the line is to open up a center where people like us could collaborate, or like where people could share information and help others, and you know what I'm saying, get the connections they need to get to where they want to go. And like all the money I make through it would be back to funding the community of Sacramento and giving money to people that need it.
Wow.
Kind of like, hey, here, help me promote my brand.
Yeah.
Help me promote this. And like, just, you know what I'm saying, having access to people.
Yeah.
Like I want to fly out speakers, spend like 20, 50K for a speaker to come out, make content out of it, have everyone come, you know, just kick it and have a good place where people could learn and grow together.
Super cool, man. Yeah. Well,
that's my long-term goal. That's why I need money.
Yeah, that's why you need money. Well, that's super cool, bro. And like I said, it was it's crazy that you said that you even speaking about that, but like, yo, I actually did it. You know what I mean? I got my dream home and everything. And because it's one thing to talk about it, you know, and to speak it into existence is another thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I was like, I remember when I read it, I was even showing like the group I was with, I was like, man, look at this, man. I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? So it was like motivating too. So,
I mean, you could get it. I mean, we're all, for me, like, we're all God's children. We can do whatever the hell we want. Yeah. It's just a story we tell ourselves and the actions we take.
Yeah, man. So I definitely wanted to get, like I said, your perspective on that. Yeah. And this last one, you had tweeted about it, posted about it, and I wanted you to expand upon this a little more because I was just like, yes. Again, one of the ones that you see, right? So you put, buying real estate is the number one way the everyday person can build generational wealth. Yeah. Focus on buying real estate before investing into anything else first.
Oh, so that's a big one. Yeah.
Like I said, we touched on it a little bit, you know what I mean? But expand upon that, because at first, like at reading it, if you're just like outside looking in, or a person who's not involved in it, they're probably looking at that and being like, that's not feasible, or maybe even intimidated, you know? Yeah. So expand upon that.
Okay. So when it comes to that, like, it's more of like, I mean, from 20 to 30, the number one goal everyone should have is buy a house. Yeah. Because that's kind of like we touched on it earlier. It's your guaranteed retirement, right? Mm-hmm. You buy a house for 400 in 20, 30 years, there's a good chance it's 800K to $1 million. Mm-hmm. That's your retirement, right? Yeah. People can't rely on 401ks. People can't rely on all these different things. And also that tweet is kind of about, hey, everyone's falling for the shiny object syndrome. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to get into NFTs. Oh, I'm going to get into what else is out? What else? Crypto. Which are all great. All great if you have the extra money to invest. Right. But the for sure bet where your family is always going to be taken care of is buying a house. Yeah. I don't care what anyone else says. Yeah. You could prove me wrong by saying like whatever you want, but for the everyday person that doesn't have the time to have a business and has other priorities, or the everyday person that doesn't have the risk tolerance to do crypto NFTs. Yeah. Like, you can't expect someone to put 20 G's. Like, I know people that spent a lot of their money on GameStop and then exploded. They could have bought a house. Yeah. And I'm like, dude. Well,
think about it. To your credit, there's a reason why people say, quote unquote, the American dream is buying the house. You know what I mean?
And honestly, like, the narrative on social media and the news is that it's about that you shouldn't buy a house. Mm-hmm. But that's what the rich want you to think. Right. Which is like information that I think everyone should know. It's like they want you to think to not buy a house so they could keep buying it. Yeah. Like, I know, like, there's people that literally like live off of passive income from rent. Yeah. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah. I know a few actually that do that, and it's like, well, yeah, I definitely want to do that too. Yeah. And I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now on the top of my head, but what I'm trying to get at is that, like, I'm young homeowner, right? My parents don't own a home. My grandparents don't own a home. So when I remember becoming a homeowner, I remember them being like, wow, like, that's something that they can never attain, even at their age. And I was like, they could have. That's what I'm saying.
The prices were so low back then.
Yeah, but it's just that they weren't getting the knowledge for a lot of stuff, or they didn't
have the right people in their corner to help them build wealth. And like, that's really big for me. Like, I want to help all my clients and all my friends and family build wealth through real estate. And like, I'm the type of person that will tell someone you shouldn't buy a house at that price range because it's too much. Okay. Even if it's not what they want to hear. Yeah. So I don't want people to be like, you know what I'm saying, overspending on a house either. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, it's just buying real estate is the safest way. Like, honestly, for just the everyday person. That's like, hey, I just want to put money into something that is safe and tested over time, it's real estate.
Yeah, not for sure. Definitely agree with
look
that.
at you, like you're up like 150 grand already.
150, yeah, and hopefully growing.
So you spent 10 grand.
Yeah.
To times it by 15 in about 3 years.
Yeah. I think, well, that's the thing. A lot of people, you know, when they get the money, they want to go on these trips. They want to
buy the bags,
the car.
They want to buy the Rolex. They want to buy.
You know, I was just on a podcast last Saturday. Sorry, not to cut you off. I was just on a podcast last Saturday. This past Saturday. I'm sorry. And I was giving them an example because we were talking about cars and stuff like that. And I was like, man, you know, no joke. I've never owned a car newer than 2010. Intentionally. I had a 97 Nissan 200 SX. I had a fucking 2007 Kia Spectra and then a 2007 Nissan Altima. Yeah. All intentional because I didn't want to have a crazy payment and I didn't care for a new car because at the time
you wanted a house.
I wanted a house.
Yeah, so, and it's like, dude, like if you really think about it, like, do you need it?
Nah. Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I'm a very low key guy. Yeah. Like I drive a Tesla Model S just for courtesy of my clients. And like courtesy of my time. Yeah. Like, it's just like, I'd rather have that. So like, oh, my clients know to trust me and help me. Yeah. But it's not, does that make sense? It's
no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like if it was up to me, I would drive my old Prius that I had that all my friends made fun of me. Yeah. Like a lot of my friends, I was driving white Prius when I got into real estate. And
they're clowning on you?
So much fucking shit. But then I got the house. Yeah. And then, and then I was just like, I want to prioritize the house. Like, why would I? Yeah. Why would I get a car like when I don't need it right now? And like, I mean, just buying all that extra stuff.
I would tell people, I couldn't have a 2010 Acura. You know what I mean? Yeah. That shit's a mob. But I like to joke.
Yeah, and honestly, you could be bad with your money, 20 to 25, and buy all that stupid stuff. But like after 25, that 25 or 30 window is so crucial for you to save money to buy the first house.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's okay to like live and like enjoy your trips. I do believe in traveling. It is a good return on investment. But like, and buying nice stuff. You got to feel stuff for example, you need nice stuff to like feel better so you can make more income and be more open to opportunities. But at a certain point, you got to be like, I just need to buy one house, 20 to 30, and I need to enjoy myself. I think, and focus on making the most income. Yeah. Those are the three things like that I would recommend.
Yeah, because time, dude, and this is like, again, another gem that you guys should know. Time flies, y'all. And the amount of money you can like, you look, if you can look, obviously this is impossible. I mean, maybe not impossible, but if you go through over like, let's say a 10-year period, and you look at how much you spent on just stuff, right, versus how much you could have saved, it'll blow your mind on how much you actually, like the amount of money that you'll spend. Yeah. And you'll be like, man, I mean, I just gave one of my cousins, I was telling her about one of my friends. He had a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This is Nevada, right? This is not California. This is Nevada. But he had a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, nice house with a pool in the backyard and everything. And he goes, dude, I bought this house for $2,000, like as my down payment. Wait. He had a first time Nevada.
3% down at the time?
3% down at the time. It was a first time home buyer program. And he goes, I literally $2,000 and has this nice freaking house and everything, right? And I remember I passed the information on to one of my cousins because she lives over there. She's like, no fucking way. She's like, are you serious? Like they were like taking up 2 jobs, talking about working 2 jobs and saving. And I was like, those type of information, like those little things, like even like the gems that you've given already for everybody, it's like, it helps them out, because they don't even think it's possible.
Oh yeah. And honestly, it is possible because, to be honest, like I have clients that hit me up and buy houses 3 to 5 years down the line. Okay. So just talk to someone, see what you could do, and then come up with a game plan to get ready. You don't have to be ready at that moment, that month to buy a house, but more of like, hey, like what do I need to do to get ready? Yeah. And that window should be 20 to 30. And then if you're 30 to 40, that should be your number one priority, because with the high cost of living and how everything's going, real estate is like going to help you retire at that time. Yeah. Like I'm going to post this and someone might see this and buy a house.
They might hit you up.
It might change like their future family's generation. You never know.
For sure.
It's crazy. And that's why I'm passionate about helping people buy and sell homes. And I usually like the $1 million price point is nice, but I'm more passionate about helping the everyday person between 400 to like 600.
Yeah, I mean that's literally it's not even an over exaggeration. That means it's like seriously,
yeah, they're the first time people and they're like freaking scared. They're like, oh shit, like how do I do this? Yeah, but I mean,
we've been there, we've all been there,
dude. It's a blessing because I mean the lives that are changed is great, and I mean Sacramento's only growing, and all these people are gonna have great retirements. So
okay, all right, man. Also, if we could touch lastly, your team.
Yeah, well, that's a great question.
Okay, your team. what is it comprised of specifically? What is it comprised of? And also, is the team growing?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So as of right now, so we have about 8 agents on the team right now, and we're more focused on like making sure that they all sell 12 homes each minimum, and then on top of that, like I have partnerships. Like I have a partner named Serena that helps with all my buyer deals because I can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
And Ray, who's my showing assistant, so showing person, kind of like he helps with all the showings, and he's great. He's amazing.
Okay.
He's actually not my showing assistant. He's my partner. Sorry.
Okay.
but showing partners. So they've been great, and they help with all the buyer deals because I can't be everywhere at once. Yeah. So I make sure that within 24 hours, if a client wants to see a home, they're in that house.
Nice.
And then we work as a team to get the offer accepted. If clients ever need to come back to the house, we help them, like if they want to measure stuff like that. Yeah. And then so on I have them two. I have Hillary. She actually joined me as my manager. Hey. So we've been sorry. Can I cuss?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, we've been fucking crushing it. Like we're setting 3 to 4 appointments a day.
Dude, congrats, y'all.
With new clients. So that's about like we're on pace to do 80 new appointments with clients this month. Man. So 80 appointments with new home sellers and home buyers. So it's been great. She manages everything. I have an assistant named Christina, like personal assistant. And then I have my executive assistant, Ainsley, that helps with the real estate deals. And we have 3 virtual assistants. So we have actually 4 virtual assistants.
Damn, that's a big ass team. I'm thinking about it.
This is just for my stuff. This is So like, I mean, I have big ambitions, right? So my goal is to sell 150 homes this year. So and I have Marlon, who's an assistant to Ainsley. He's a virtual assistant from the Philippines. Angelica's the head of the marketing. And then I have Ruby and Davison. Davison's my scheduler, and Ruby's like, she helps with the marketing and messaging as well. Super dope. So yeah, like just on my stuff, I have 10 people, including me, because like I have big ambitions, but also I want to make sure my customer service is amazing. Yeah. So I can't do everything, right? I can't market, I can't post, I can't message. You know, there's only so many hours in a day. There's so many moving parts. Like right now, I have 13 clients in contract pending. Damn. So it's like that's a lot of clients to deal with on top of like me doing other stuff and the team too. And the team, we have about 8 agents, and then we have virtual assistants and assistants too. Okay. So we're a big team. So like our goal is to sell between 300 to 500 homes this year. Damn. With only 8 agents. Man. Okay. That's very goal oriented. It sounds like it takes up a lot of time. Oh yeah, no, I mean? And like that's why it's like sometimes I had to like push it back and like like this Friday, like I'm going on my first trip with my friends for a while. Yeah. So I mean, it's been great, but my team's amazing. Yeah. They're honestly the only reason I'm able to do this. Yeah. And I was really big on making sure my customer service is good for my clients, even if it means that it's not the best thing for my pocket. Like because it's like more of like, hey, like I want to make sure they get great customer service, even if like I have to pay someone to do this. Does that make sense? Yeah, like, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, I could be selfish and take all the money, but I mean, it's just for customer service. And I mean, for what I need, I don't need all the money in the world. Yeah. I mean, you're essentially paying, like, trust me, if I can outsource this, I would, essentially, because your time is your money too. Oh, exactly. I mean? And I try to keep my time at a certain amount, like my time per hour. Like I respect I only try to focus on stuff that's 1,000 an hour activity. Okay. So it's like literally my whole day is like 10 hours, 1,000 hour activity. But it's hard because you have to like pay people to get to, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, so for simple things like, just remember, like there's a lot of different things that I need to delegate out so everyone can perform at their high level per hour. Yeah. Yeah. Like my partner, Serena, she made 6 figures for the first time in her life. Hey. And I think she's only about like 22, 23 years old. Yeah. Yeah. And she quit nursing school. She was our assistant. Bit worried, right? Yeah, Serena was our assistant first. Yeah. And then she was like gonna go to nursing school. And then like she told us like, hey, I'm not doing nursing school anymore. I want to be an agent. And she's like the most timid and shy person, but now she's like very strong and there you go. Talking to people. She's really good. She's a crusher. But yeah, perfect, I mean, it's cool seeing like all my team win. So this year is more about helping my team win and hit their goals. I mean, everyone's doing great on the team. You're on track and everything. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, that's super cool, bro. It's very exciting and challenging at the same time. And
yeah, it's a lot. It's like
it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. I try to keep this around the 1 hour mark. So
dude, if you need to ask me anything else,
I was just gonna say, any last closing or final thoughts as far as what like piece of information that you think either goes over people's heads or they just don't know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just in general.
In general, yeah. When it comes to like
anything. So the piece of information that goes over like people's heads, or like kind of like something that I would share with the everyday person, is that you have to use social media. Don't let it use you, and use it as a tool to connect with the people you want to. So one of the biggest reasons I'll probably sell 150 homes this year is because probably one of the best agents in the nation, Susan Brock. She's from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
She sells homes to NFL players, NBA players.
Wow.
She almost sent me like a few Kings referrals, which is pretty cool. But,
solid.
Yeah, but she told me she's like, I feel like you could be one of the best agents in the nation one day.
Wow.
And I text her every day, and we're accountability partners. I'm like, hey, I got this many clients a year so far, like in contract, and the only reason I was able to connect with her is because I pay for real estate coaching.
Oh,
so I pay $1,099 a month to be coached by the #1 real estate coaches company.
Yeah.
And dude, even before I could afford it, I remember I went to a real estate conference and I was like, my mom was going to quit hers, but I said, hey, I'm going to pay $2,000 a month. Even like that was like paycheck to paycheck for me back then a couple years ago. Yeah. And and then I said, okay, I can't afford it, but I know this is the room we need to be in. This is who we need to be connected with. Yeah. So that moment changed our whole family trajectory. Wow. Between me and my mom last year, we made about $2 million gross commission income. Yeah. So it's like we were like only doing 400, 500 combined. Yeah. So that changed everything. So pay to be in the right rooms and try to figure out who on social media is exactly who you want to be like. And you'd be surprised. People are really helpful. You just hit them up, DM them, and you ask them information. For example, for me, I try to get back to every DM I can. I'm trying to get better about it. But if you consistently ask someone, they're going to give you the info you need. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's all free. You pay to play. For example, for me, I'm about to start this kind of real estate coach, get into this circle. It's only $300 a month. And like a mentorship type of thing? Yeah, like a mentorship where you can have access to this guy that sells 150 to 200 homes a year. And he has about 6 to 10 agents on his team that do 100 deals a year. Man. So I'm only going to pay $300 a month. My math right now, side note on this, my math is whoa. Yeah. Trying to compute everything, whoa. No, but it's only $300 a month to be connected with an agent that makes over a couple million a year. Yeah. That's free game. That's easy. It's free. Yeah. $300 is nothing. You can spend $300 at the club. Yeah. That's a car payment. Yeah, a car payment. Yeah. Or So I would say pay to play, pay to be in those circles, or go on social media and find who you need to connect with. So yeah, the only reason I found out about all this stuff is social media. Social media, yeah. Yeah. Same way like we talked about. And I hit people up. They always get back to me. It's crazy. Yeah. And he's my Facebook friend. You're good with motivation too. Yeah, I mean, you're always putting the #1 reason why people lose motivation with this or this and this and that. You know what I mean? You're good with that. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about putting this is going to be great because we're going to use all this content. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's motivation is and I would say the #1 thing about being motivated is that it's not always going to be there, but have so much accountability. Yeah. For example, a lot of people are for example, accountability. If you got a wife and kids, you're always going to have a roof over the head and food on the table. Right. That accountability, knowing you got wife and kids, will always make sure it's there. Yeah. So, get more accountability to make sure it aligns with what you want. Yeah. So, yeah, I really think it's paying to play is one of the biggest things. Don't go cheap on your mentor. Make sure you're talking to the right people, you're connected with the right people, and ask people. If you guys want to ask me anything, DM me. Yeah. Just hit me up. He'll get back to you. He said, "Yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as I can." Yeah, 100 messages is damn, but he'll get my text messages. I got 100 emails a day too. It's all these calls and meetings. But I'll do just DM me. I'll make sure to get back to you. Everyone. Cool. All right. Cool, man. So there you go. Y'all got the free game and the information, man. Yeah. Thank you, man. Man, let's just if you can, let them people know.
exactly where they can find you. I know we've said it multiple times, but just to give them a quick reminder.
Yeah. So the best way to get a hold of me is my Instagram at Charles Velasco V. Will my info be below?
Yeah, I'll put everything right now.
Okay, cool. And then if you want to text me too, my phone number is 916-280-3890. So if you need help with motivation, if you need help with selling or buying a house, I'm always available through text. I can't take a lot of meetings, but like I'm always available through text or direct message.
And check out the podcast too.
Yeah, check out my podcast, Dark to Light podcast, and then we're getting back on the Life in Sacramento podcast. We fell off. I don't think we're top 4 anymore.
There you go. But you still have
show We Are Sacramento people some love. I feel like they're the best podcast in Sacramento right now.
Yeah, they're definitely popular.
Like they're like the best Sacramento-based podcast for sure.
They're definitely popular.
They're great people. They're hella nice.
Yeah, once you meet them too, you can put the face to them. You're like, yeah, for sure.
They're so cool.
They're solid. All right, man. Well, thank you again, man. Thank you again for coming on, and I appreciate giving all the information that you're able to give. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be really knowledgeable and beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah, man. And I'm so excited to like use this content and post on my pages and like help more people out.
And I'll send you once get this one edited out and everything. I'll send you the full one so you can post on yours too,
man. Yeah, I'll post it all the time.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. Well, again, everybody, my name is Albert Fig. This is Charles Velasco.
Yep.
As always, this has been another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast, and y'all stay safe. Peace.
Right, thank you.